I got a very good question from one of our members. I have been working with your 184 things template and I have one issue. I need to customize it for a brunette female realtor, but can't find a way to substitute a video presenter female for the males in the template. That is a great, great question. So what we need to do first is understand exactly what we're looking at in terms of the assets and the video creation tools. Here's Explaindio Video Creator, and it is all loaded up with the 184 things template. And as our member points out, most of the images in this template are male, with the exception of that one little one at the beginning. So what can we do about that? Well, here's the thing. Let's understand first what Explaindio is and how it's built and how we can work with this. Here is a slide of a man. Can we change that out with a woman? And actually we can't. The way these slides are built is that the man is part of the slide, and we can't remove him. A slide consists of a number of elements. We have text, and the text, of course, is something we can change. We can write new text and we can format the text. We can insert an image. We can insert an image and an additional image, but we can't remove him. How can we create this slide as a woman? Well, the only way to recreate this slide as a woman is to pick another slide from our templates and then insert one of the video presenters into a slide where there are no images already, and that's really the best way. The other thing that we can do on some slides is to add the female presenter to an image, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second here. Here's how we can add these girls or these gals or the video presenter female characters to existing Explaindio sites. Now, a couple of things about these slides I want to point out. One is that most of these images that are already on the slides are not speaking characters, so that their mouths are not moving. The images that I'm using here are the SWF images that are presumably talking characters that I'm using to speak the words that I have in an audio. So they're not conflicting with each other. So in this particular case, it's great to be able to add an image, a talking image, to complement a character who's not talking. This slide initially only had this character and the place for text. So what I did was go, load this particular slide up. I inserted an image, and then I made some adjustments here for positioning, because of course you can move images, up or down, up and down, and left and right. I sized it. You can also size it using the X scale and the Y scale here. And what I wanted to accomplish was to have two similarly sized and equal characters so that it looked more natural. And so I took this size and just adjusted that so that her size would correspond with the other character. I used the image that has her standing on the left, and then I alternated that with a couple of others here in the collection. Now here is this fellow here who's really, really neat. He's a businessman character, and he's rather animated, but again, he doesn't talk. So I matched him up with our female presenter on the right to make it look like she's talking to him. I think that that's a pretty neat way to do it. You can insert these characters on pretty much any slide. So let me show you how that works. I'll pull up some slides and then I'll show you exactly how we do that. Now we have two slides. We're going to insert our female presenters on two separate types of slides in Explaindio. And we're going to start with the first slide that is just some kinetic text. I'm going to pause the slide here and then go over to image, browse to my folder. I am looking for an SWF, which is the type of folder that this takes. I'm going to look for a talking SWF and an image who is on the left. So here she is on the left, casual. All right, casual or whatever. All right, so there she is. By left presentation, it means that she's pointing in the with her left hand. So she's a little bit large, oversized, not large, but a little bit too tall there, and on the wrong place. What I'm going to do is I'm making her smaller using this over here, the Y scale, right? And then I can bring her down a little bit so that she fits right on the page, and then move her over to the left. All right, so there she goes. Now she's placed. I need to go a little, there we go. Then I need to take that text, because that text is a little close to her, isn't it? So I'm going to take the text and I'm going to move that over to the right. There's the first line, and there is the second line. All right. And let's see what the rest. Let's see the rest of the text. All right. So we're going to do the same thing with number 3 and text area number 4. Let's see. Do we have some more too, don't we? Let's see here. We have a little more text. Yeah. And motion graphics. I'm going to move that over a little bit. And in fact, I might even move that up a little bit. Let's see. And number 6, look at that. The word templates. I'm going to move that over a tiny bit. And I'm going to move that up as well. All right. And in fact, I'm going to move it over just a tiny bit there. Align that. And there's nothing else. So here is that slide now, which is great. All right, she's talking, and that's just great. If I want a slightly different look, I can make her, larger to fill. Let me see here. Let me go back to the image, and let's make her a bit larger. Whoops, I'm moving her up. Let's move her over. What I'm doing here is just changing the camera angle a little bit and just zooming in on her and bringing everything a little bit closer, right? You see that? All right. So, and I can adjust if I would like her to appear a little bit larger like that. Then I can go back and, and I can adjust the text to make it, just a little bit higher. And then make those adjustments according to the size. Now let's take a look at another slide, and let's take a look at one of our male characters here. Again, this is one of those stationary male characters that we can't do anything about. We can't remove him, but we can make him work for us, and we can continue. We can still use the female presenter because we can put her in the same slide. So how do we do that? All right. So we go over to image again. Let's see here. We have background image. Here we're going to take our lady as a background image, and in this case we are going to, let's see here, we're going to go for a pointing lady, and we will find somebody that we want to put in the right, and this time we'll put her in a business suit. How about that? So she's going to be standing at the right. Well, of course she's right in the center there, so the first thing we're going to do is move her over right to the side. Whoopsie daisy, I'm making her a little bit too big. Let me just move her up a little bit so we can see her feet, her shoes, right? We see his shoes and we see the top of his head, and there's a little bit of space, right margin around him. And I'm going to move her over to the right, all the way to the right, and space her about the same distance from the edge of her corner that he is. Now, of course, we have to deal with this over here, this text and those boxes. And the first thing I'm going to do is take a look at those boxes. Now, those are outlines, and if you see here in the outline tab, we can see exactly where the boxes are that we want to work with. So let's do the top one first. And the first thing we want to do, I think, is, make it a little bit smaller, and then move it over to the left a little bit, right? Like this. And I think we want to make it a little bit smaller again. Whoops, wait, that's the wrong way. I'm making it narrow. I want to make it, I want to give them both room. All right. And I'm going to move it up a little bit. All right. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the text. In fact, first thing I'm going to do with the text is I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. And of course, you're going to be rewriting this to be doing, for your messaging, but for all intents and purposes, we can just keep this. I'm going to move this over here, bring it down just a tad, All right, bring it up and then go back to, well, let me see, just for the heck of it, I'll make it the 65. All right, so now we've got the text is fitting nicely in that call out. And then we have another call out over here. That's the other outline, save right here. So let's bring that over. We're gonna make that a little bit smaller, right? And we're gonna bring that over too, right? So we're gonna bring that over and we're gonna go to that text. Whoops, I'm at the wrong text. I want to go to text area 2. And I'm going to move that text over like that. And probably go back to that outline and make it just a little bit longer, right? And move it over. All right, so that's the kind of fine tuning you do when you're working with these outlines and text if you would like to insert the other image. And these images work very, very well with the Explaindio slide images, I think. Here, this lady is sized correctly. I mean, it looks very, very natural. It looks like they were made for each other. And that's how I do it. So no, you cannot remove this gentleman, but you can just replace those slides where you want a female and either add the female to the male slides or, just pick another slide and recreate the slide and just use the woman female presenter instead.